Going to call the meeting to order. Good evening, everybody. It's April 13th at 6:31. Beautiful day, but it's nice and cool in here tonight. Thank you to everybody that's here and everybody that's listening in. Land acknowledgement is, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we gather today on the ancestral homelands of the coastal Salish peoples. Our anti-racism statement, Sutton Valley Community Association, stand against racism in all forms. And we'll do a roll call. Like Rick is here. Rick's taking notes tonight. He's our vice chair. April's here. Chad's here. Elizabeth, good to see you. Gary called in. He will not be here. It's excused absence though. I really think Ken is on his way. I think Mitch is on his way, but we'll find out. But we do have enough for a quorum, and we do have a visitor tonight invited, Jeff Milner and his wife Suzanne. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We'll start with the adoption of our agenda. We need to modify that at all. Just please speak up. There's a front page and a back page. You can use that one there. April, go ahead.
Do you have to have a motion to approve the agenda?
We do.
I so move.
Make a motion. Can you get a second?
A second.
Second. So all those agree to accept the agenda? Looks like we have a unanimous for that. And then we need to take a review of last minutes that Rick typed up for us for the July 3rd. You have a copy of that. That's a one-pager. We've sent it out previously, but if you need to browse it, look at it, please do.
All I can say is I peeked in.
Ooh, you brought food.
Yes, they served late for the first time ever.
That's one.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yep, we're reading. Yep.
How are you? Did you get a good parking spot?
It's all about the parking spots.
It's all about the parking spot.
So we're at reviewing last meeting's minutes, getting ready to approve it or reject it or modify it.
Thank you. We apologize for our tardiness.
I'm glad you made it.
Actually, I apologize for mine. Ken has no excuse.
I do need a motion on that, if anybody's read it.
I move to adopt the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All those agree to adopt the minutes? Raise that hand. Okay, we have unanimous to adopt the minutes from the July 3rd meeting. And we'll adjust the roll call and add Ken and Mitch. Thank you for being here.
How come you said his name first and I walked in for him?
Sorry, guys, sorry. I know it's rough.
Thought we said, hey.
So, that takes us to item 6, announcements. I do have one announcement, which is good news. you've been seeing on Marigold and Gate 2, you've seen some signs that covered up with black.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, been wondering. So, on Monday, they're gonna take off the black to say there's some pedestrian crossing up front. And they're gonna put a crosswalk in yellow from Lake Louise right across to where there's pavement. And there'll be a stop place coming into Gate 2, where everybody's just kind of rolling through and hope we don't hit anybody. For years, I don't know how we've survived, but that's gonna be a big safety feature. Safety committee pushed hard on that, and went around and around, and it's finally gonna get painted on Monday, weather permitting. So, and the paint dries fast, so it's not gonna hold up the whole. So that's the announcement that I know of. Anybody else have any good announcements or bad announcements? Okay, so that's gonna roll us into item 7, which is a recap of the town hall meeting that we had. I really wanted to debrief this a bit, since we were the main feature there, and we put all the work into Barn 8 and Barn 6 and plans, and we worked with the architect, all that stuff that we did for, about 90 days and a little bit more. And then, we actually had 60 people that showed up, which was really good. And then we had 20 people online, so we had 80 people. But I wanted to hear your views on that. And we'll go through how we've broken out here. First, like, presentation, clear, is it informal? How do you feel that you guys how the audience took it, or how you felt it went through, or is it
I felt
confusing, or is it?
As usual, we had a lot of people who were, oh my God, I don't want to spend any money.
But not as many.
You think?
I did a count.
Okay.
Yeah. It tilted, because I was expecting the same thing, Elizabeth. And it tilted. There were more people that were, I'm really nervous about it, but in one particular case, I'll make it happen. That was cool. And a lot of that, I thought that, the other comment, are you a subdivision or are you a community?
Yeah.
That's a great comment.
I thought you're done.
Oh, yes, sir, I vouch.
I thought the presentations went really well, like Ray and Rick. I thought you both did your presentations really calmly and smoothly, and I felt that the audience really bought into the fact that we were here to do the best we could for the community. You know what I mean? Like, we're here to listen to what you have to say. This is an idea that we've come up with. We're presenting it to you, and we're interested in feedback, and we're interested in listening. And I thought it was, we weren't trying to sell something. We're like, here's what we came up with, and here's our idea, and we welcome feedback. And so I thought that you both presented it very well, and you took feedback very well. And I think people had an opportunity to say what was on their mind. And even some of the people that perhaps were a little skeptical came around and said, you know what, this is something we need, and it's a great idea. So people want that, right? People want that. And then the actual details on how we do it, obviously we had some change of direction a little bit, and we had some new ideas that came up, and that's great too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what we need. So overall, as far as a town meeting, I don't think you could have asked for more, because we presented what we thought was a great idea. We listened to what people had to say. People were interested in the most part on the concept, and then if it could be fine-tuned or changed a bit, then that's good too, because that's part of the town hall, is meeting or listening to what people have to say. So I thought it went extremely well, in my opinion.
Can I add to something, two things you said that were really remarkable, actually. We were not there to sell. We were answering the mail. We got a charter from the board. This is what we did. And we weren't, no one was defensive about it. Right? There was no defensiveness.
No.
It's like, this is what we've come up with. It's,
Right.
and we've done our best. And these two guys just tag teamed beautifully.
Right.
There was no hardcore sales push. Right? It's like, this is what we've come up with. And we were very receptive. You guys were really receptive to hearing feedback. And I don't think it could have been better.
I don't think so either. I think it went really well. You're always gonna have, you know, this is what I think, this is what I think, but overall, I think everybody bought into the whole program.
It was a discussion. It was good.
But yeah, I thought there was really great questions too from the crowd, and I like how each one was answered, like time was spent on it. Like I think everybody felt really heard and kind of like it was a safe place to kind of come up and express, even if you didn't agree, which I think was great.
Really makes it a
Yeah.
community, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We might not agree, but we're all we're gonna listen with
Right.
respect.
It just, everybody showing up was awesome. Because usually town meetings like 20 people, there was a good show.
I think we need more meetings, not necessarily that type of meeting. I know one time in the past, we had, I don't know what you'd call it, but we had different people stationed at different tables and just spoke about one aspect of a project. So somebody that was concerned about the water could go to the water thing, and somebody who's concerned about something else could go to a different thing.
That was the 220, that was the revitalization plan. I remember that.
That's
meeting.
right, yeah, yep, I thought that went good. And it gave people an opportunity to, like, feel they were more part of it.
Yeah.
I think the name, though, that we've been using scares people.
The Elizabeth Huthert segment.
What, the health center?
Yeah. What are we calling it, event center?
Barn 6?
Event center?
Just right now, Barn 6, I think.
It's just
Oh,
barn-
okay,
it's
'cause
Barn 6.
I got the feeling a few people thought we were going to have crowds coming in from Bellingham and
Oh, yeah,
Tacoma
I
and
think
stuff.
it did possibly convey that way, and it was just an
Yeah,
example that it could be there
Yeah.
for people that have weddings, and people thought, oh, God, we're gonna have 200 people here drunk and driving crazy through Sutton Valley, so really, that was not the intent, but.
on the other hand, if we had an open bar during the November meeting, maybe we'd get a lot of yes votes.
I don't know.
Probably longer speeches, maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate you folks introducing yourselves, because you guys, I do appreciate you put a lot of time in on that. And it's good that the community know that, you know, you're doing this for free, and you live here, and you care, and you got good representation from almost all the gates, which is really good, to get a mix. And it's good that we have some diversity of the age too, I think that's really good. Brian here. Anyway, so any more comments on any of this?
You know,
Did they,
at the fair,
I was gonna put fairs on the bottom of F.
okay, because there were a lot of people that talked about it at the fair. I was sitting on one of the booths,
Okay,
yeah, and I'll give you their feedback.
okay, well, that's a line item down, we'll get there,
Yeah,
for sure. So, anybody else wanna comment on questions that get answered, D, opinions that were shared, new ideas that had value to SV that you heard in the town meeting?
Well, I had this guy that took my parking space.
And I will forever have that.
Yeah,
He took your parking space?
yeah.
there was a car parked there, and I circled, and then the car left, and he pulled into it. I was like, wait a minute.
That's good for him.
Yeah, always a bridesmaid, that's my story. So,
But that's when we met.
that's one.
Okay, so that's good. So that will bring us down to our guest tonight, who is a community member, Jeff Milner. He's the gentleman that spoke toward the end of the town meeting, and he said, well, I'm gonna let you share your ideas, so listen, he did a draft on it here for us, so that he's added to it, so we don't miss nothing, and I think that we should let him share how he wants to. He's a longtime resident, and he cares about Sun Valley, or he wouldn't be here, so thanks for coming.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Jeff Mildner, Gate 3, top of the hill, been there 32 years. My wife Suzanne and back of me. Raised 2 kids here, so we've used the facilities. Very familiar with the pool, the recreation corridor, what was the library, the adult center, when it was the theater upstairs. We had friends that were part of that. So, been active members here. And that was my first long-range planning committee meeting that I'd attended ever. Well-versed in reading plans, used to work with architects in AutoCAD, so I understand what it's like to look at a drawing. And then I thought about it, I thought, well, putting a basketball court in the middle of a conference center, that's a nice idea, but they're kind of mutually exclusive, and that got me thinking. It was like right then and there, I thought, well, those 2 things don't go together. Because if you're playing basketball and it's just one person, boom, 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 now you're having a yoga session or a meditation session, not so much, or a quiet meeting like this. So they're kind of mutually exclusive. Put 15 people in there and a crowd, and it's only a basketball court. So it's no longer used for any of the other functions for which it was designed. And then I got up and spoke after a couple minutes, and just quickly formulated what I would do if I ran the railroad. And thought, well, better couch it as something that's everybody needs to vote upon. So here's another way of looking at what could we do with this building. And I thought, no matter what you put into this building, it will never be code compliant for any reasonable cost versus tearing it down and starting from scratch. But the pool amenities are tied to it. So you need a bathroom facility, and you need to take the pool filtration and heating equipment, put them in their own separate structure, keep them operational, destroy this, start here. Take that down as a fire training exercise, because you have a local fire crew, and our younger daughter is now hopefully going to be a firefighter.
Oh, that's exciting.
Like,
all right.
Hey, Jacqueline, come here, you got a match? Even using it as a training exercise, and I don't mean it facetiously, would be beneficial.
Precedent, we used the rotunda for one.
Yeah, so there you go. And then if you think about it, if you put the building over there and then you did something with this, there's a long time horizon, but this is still never going to be readily suited for meetings upstairs. There's no bathrooms. It's not ADA compliant up there. So that's when I thought, well, yeah, get rid of this building in its entirety. Perhaps use the footprint of what was 7, make this 3 stories if you can, put in a big elevator, and there's my outline there. Years and years ago, I think we probably were on the very last end of it being an ice skating arena. And could be a false memory, but I don't think so. In any event, if you were to put in coils in the concrete for the new slab to what could be an open air pavilion, bandstand, clamshell, you could freeze it or you could heat it. It could do double duty. In the off season, when it's not an ice skating rink, you could have a radiant floor to keep people somewhat comfortable. I'm not 100% certain that would work, but it's certainly worth asking an engineer. Hey, if we put in PEX piping in the concrete, can we freeze it? Can we heat it? Then you'd know. So that the basketball will still always be there because it's a main component of this, but it's separate and apart. It's not in the same space you're trying to have a meeting. And that's what prompted my thinking to begin with. And then I did add one piece about item 4, the last sentence, where you have a drop-off outside, right where we were in that upstairs meeting. Cover that area so that handicapped people can get out in inclement weather. So, otherwise they have to bring a car or a wheelchair out in the rain all the way here to get into this building and then get in an elevator. But if you were to cover that area, they can get out under the cover, get in, go to the elevator.
What do you do with the car?
Oh, someone else is driving it away. It's not for.
So everybody who is handicapped would have to have a chauffeur?
No, for large meetings, there's no parking right next to the door either, right? So unless you have all of a sudden a bunch of handicap parking next to the front entry. So that could be reconfigured. That's a good point.
It's a minor point, right, in the total, right? Scheme of things, but it's something to be looked at with the architect.
Right. I think the largest piece is to keep the gym rolling, and for that, you can get temporary contractor trailers that are hollow and make the gym in there, and then a separate and distinct bathroom complex that has showers installed. They make them, I looked it up today, in fact, where you have an individual shower, a toilet, and a sink in one little cube, and you can get them 5, 6, 8 stalls deep. Or you could have a shower facility and a bathroom facility. If you do this, you would need one here as well temporarily if this took more than a year to complete. So during the construction of this, you need showers at the gym if it were by the library, and a shower and a bathroom over here next to the playground area. Just wanting to explore how best to utilize this space. I didn't run any numbers, but I don't think that you could repurpose this building to the same level of facility that would be for the long term.
Interesting. May I?
Yeah, I'm done.
Interesting, you've never attended a long-range planning meeting. Have you watched any of the previous long-range planning meetings? A lot of people you'll find sitting around the table are absolutely sympathetic and agreeable to. You don't update an old building like this, put in new infrastructure, and think they'll age together at the same time. All right? There's been a discussion point forever. So the idea of trying to improve this building by putting in fire sprinklers and more bathrooms and reconfigure the floors, I think it's been an item that we've discussed many times. It's just, they're not simple that way.
Well,
Take it down.
the load characteristics of the floor, the beams, the insulation in the walls, the electrical service, there's no air conditioning.
It was a building for animals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was a working farm. It was a working farm. Yeah, I get it. That's what,
Yeah, you'll find that everyone probably is very much in agreement with you. I believe everyone at the table.
oh, thanks.
I got the feeling from reading the engineering report. Basically, the roof isn't attached to the walls aren't attached to the foundation. And they're not committing to the integrity of any of the support beams. Now, they tore the middle barn down because of post beetles. I find it hard to believe those beetles didn't wander over here. So,
We did, we checked.
They got an email.
yeah,
We did check the building, there was a location, and we euthanized it.
Right, but I mean, not attaching the walls to the footings because the code had changed since when this building was built to what it is today. And the same with the hurricane strapping and the load requirements for the snow. No matter what you do here, you still have the basic guts. The walls aren't thick enough, they're not insulated well enough, the wiring is ancient. You'd have to demolish everything except the skin of the building. And then you're left with something that's really not gonna age well either.
yeah, I do think it should be torn down. But I hate to have to close down the facilities for a year or two or whatever it takes.
Which facilities?
If we don't build another building and we tear this down, then we're gonna have a gap.
Well, we're gonna build, the idea is to
build
six first,
And once we have that up and going.
completed,
Yeah, take about a year.
then deal
Then we can
with,
move
Does everyone,
this gym down there.
does everyone at the table know this plan that you just referenced?
No, we've been always planning to do building 6 first. That's all they know, that's what I'm talking.
But now the idea, we're still planning on doing building 6 first, but the
Yeah, always
idea
plan.
of what building 6 is changing.
It's still up in question.
Right,
But that's-
so it's
Jeff
here
did
for
tonight,
discuss, right.
The guy with the parking spot gave us really good input.
Yeah, no, Jeff, that's what I liked about what you did at the meeting. It was coming from all different angles. This building's gonna fall down. Got it from Mitch, got it from others, it's gonna fall down. And you stood up like, this place needs to be rebuilt, I've been here a while. And that was excellent, because it needed to be said, because all the other angles that we had proposed before, everybody's like, you can't do that, you can't take the darn name down, that's sacred, man. So it was good that you said that. Mitch is on the committee, so he got away with saying that, it's gonna fall down.
I'm gonna sell him a parking spot, he doesn't know. But I think the thing with.
I gotta put some kind of tracker on your car so I know when I have to speed up.
But the part of that we have gone so far is that we wanna do 6 first, so we got someplace, we get that done, so then we've got someplace to move the weight equipment and stuff down there, why we do something to barn 8, and if it's just tear it down and redo it, because that's gonna take a couple of years.
Right, and I think my focus was abandon rebuilding 6, put in temporary structures for the
Yes.
gym. And if it's yet another construction trailer for meeting rooms, okay, but to repurpose 6 as an open air coliseum, clamshell, band shell,
Yeah.
basketball court, multi-use piece for a much lesser expense,
Yeah.
pour the money into this.
Right.
Because if you're going to build a variant of what you've designed for 6, I think it's gonna be a larger price tag to do that and this.
Yeah.
I was just trying to have a stopgap measure with the
No,
trail.
it's good, and the stuff that you're telling us is good, and I like ideas. But if we don't follow all of them, he tells you you're not gonna get your fillings hurt, correct?
He's not getting his parking spot.
Wait a minute, it's becoming personal here.
The other thing was, when you were talking about the name of what it was, I was just
The
thinking.
Elizabeth Huthert.
No, just the Sutton Valley Community Center, because it's all encompassing.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's all.
Yeah,
So whatever
that's a friendlier name
Yeah.
than event center.
Yeah.
You picture helicopters coming in and dropping off.
But I mean, think about if you could have a band in there, in that
Mhm.
open air pavilion, and it's a clamshell facing this way. So the audience is facing this way.
I don't want an open air thing. I want an enclosed senior center where we can have heat
That's
or
good.
air conditioning.
Yeah,
and
that's
shit.
it.
No, but it's not soon enough. How long have the seniors been waiting to get the senior center back?
If I win the Powerball, I'm funding it.
Write that up. Let's get that documented.
You know,
Get the notary.
if I could say something, I think that the thing that really got my attention when Jeff spoke was the fact that the questions were coming up at the town hall meeting, and they were saying, okay, if we completely refurbish barn 6 to this plan, it's X number of dollars, $7 million, whatever the number.
8.4.
8.4, 7 plus taxes, 8 million.
The
So,
total project cost, you still have to pay it.
Right.
It's 8.
so that number was being thrown around, and then the feedback was, well, how much is that increase per month in dues? So that number was being thrown around, and then the $13, whatever it was. And then the questions that were coming up, they're saying, well, wait a second, so if we do all that, then we still have to address barn 8, right? Is that what, do I hear everybody, so then that question, so then barn 8 has to be addressed at some point in time, right? And then there's possibly another assessment for barn 8. And that's what really got me thinking, with your proposal, Jeff, where it's like, okay, so we do barn 6 with an open air / whatever at a less expense.
The roll-up door.
Without a special assessment, and we get that completed.
If we can do it.
And then we move to barn 8, and overall, there could be millions of dollars saved that way.
In time.
Over a period of 5 years, right, we could save $3 million.
I
or
question
more,
that.
Right?
Putting up a cheapo temporary structure there.
Well, that's not a temporary structure,
I don't think anyone's saying cheapo either.
and no one's saying that.
My proposal
Well,
is,
it doesn't sound like it would serve what I'm looking for as a community center.
Well,
How long would it be before we would have a decent place here with this plan?
in my estimation, and I can't answer for the architect or engineer, but if construction took a year, that would be a long time. So you might have planning and permitting and demolition take another few months. But if you had some temporary structures, and what I was suggesting, by the way, was the rental of a bathroom, not construction or building, the rental of spaces for the gym. Concurrently, you could also,
I'm not concerned about
right,
the
She
gym.
wants an adult center,
Right,
she's
but-
looking for.
but
I need a place where we can bring, a place where senior meals can be brought in to the community, where seniors can be all the time, can be dropped off, can have their own place.
that could be a carbon copy of what would be serving the gym. 2 more double wides bolted together that is a large meeting room, segregated with a temporary partition, with bathrooms that are adjacent. That could be a common bathroom.
You ever try to get a wheelchair into one of those things?
They do make them ADA compliant.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very,
They
I've
They
tried,
do have ramps.
yeah.
No, and I'm sensitive to that. My mom was an amputee, and her focus was, well, you guys could move. Like, well, we're bringing up a family, but I'm not I'm not a caregiver, so you have to go to a facility. And that, we were considering selling our home. But we have a 3-story home, and she was still gonna be an amputee. So now what? How does that work? And I'm sensitive to that.
That's good. You did what I asked you to do, is share, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna move,
I
next
think
line item.
just add one thing
Okay.
for Jeff's awareness. So when they took down barn 7, they removed the slab, so we no longer have a footprint that we can build anything.
Well, that's
Well-
not quite correct.
It would be much more difficult.
If we left that slab specifically so we could build on it. And
Well, I thought it was taken out and they planted grass. Oh, okay.
it was taken out.
Yeah.
I engineered barn 7, and we purposely left the slab there so we could construct on it.
Oh,
And the board in 2023 or 4 took that slab out.
Okay.
And eliminated our option.
That's what I thought, so that's,
So it's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
no
that's-
longer
so
have
that's a
that
true
option.
statement, we don't
Yeah,
have.
but that's the dominant.
Yeah, we don't have that.
It was.
Mitch is just making sure everybody knows where we're going. That's what it sounds. He had a parking spot there, and they took it away. I know.
Strategically, I mean, our job is to propose options to the board for long-range planning. And the long-range planning committee at that time said purposely, leave the slab, which we did.
And
It's not your fault, Mitch.
I'll take a lot of blame, but
Anyway, just one.
we cannot build on that spot.
To close, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to participate, and, happy to attend or speak.
How about join?
We have a position, we have a spot open, if you apply for it.
Depends on the parking.
I can arrange a parking bumper stencil with my name put.
Mitch, just so you know, is parked up in El Agave, right?
We turned into a 2-person golf cart and came here.
Yeah, and just so you know, I don't have an agenda, this is not my passion, I just wanted to throw it out there. I spoke with Ray, he's like, well, would you? Sure.
Right.
So
You did a great job.
literally an hour ago is when I typed this up.
This is the
It's
great
awesome.
agenda, this is a great agenda.
Yeah.
We want people to come and participate with options.
And the bottom line really is, it's probably millions of dollars difference,
Well, that's substantial.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, oh, I think so.
right?
Well, that's why we all went.
That's why it's millions of dollars difference.
That's why I wanted you to get the credit for that.
Right.
It
Stand
just,
up there at that point.
it just seems to me that this talk about all these temporary buildings, I know what's gonna happen. We're gonna bring in cheap temporary buildings or some kind of open amphitheater, and we will never get a decent building.
So, let me clarify something.
We'll get
There are construction
You're free to
trailers
go.
that
If you
are
like,
rented
you
on a
can stay.
regular basis, that are extremely high-end trailers.
There are.
And they are moved from site to site to site.
Right.
All right, these are high-end trailers. And they are brought somewhere, utilities are connected to them, and their specific reason is to be a stopgap while construction is occurring. And then when the construction is done, they are removed. They are not pieces of garbage on a construction trailer you see sitting in a lot somewhere that the wind will knock over.
There's also, like if you ever go to a wedding, outside wedding, and they bring in these trailers for restrooms.
They're really nice.
Yes.
They're like super nice. They're just like at home. You go in there, you go up the stairs and you go in these trailers, they're awesome.
There are high-quality trailer rentals
The
available.
mirrors make you look better than you
And
really
that's what
are.
I'm here to
Right.
suggest, right?
Yeah.
Not garbage.
So,
Right, but
No one's gonna tolerate
it's
that.
still not, it seems to me that there's not going to be enough room for what I think we need for the seniors in Sun Valley.
We're gonna get the seat, we're gonna get adults.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I'll let the planning committee take that one. Anyway, I thank you for the
Thank you,
opportunity.
Jeff, for
Thank you,
coming.
Jeff.
Yeah,
And
Where are you
Suzanne?
from, by the way?
Thank you.
none your business.
Where you park?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks, nice meeting you too.
It's nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
See you again.
Hey, next time, leave them at home, you can come.
Yep. Cheers.
That was a pleasure, man.
I'll see you again.
We have one line item here below here called the Valley Fair booth. And Elizabeth had some feedback on it.
Oh, well, a number of people, by the time they got to the Friends of the Library booth, which I was sitting on, had already seen or heard about the long-range planning committee's plans. And I didn't hear any single person talk in the negative. It seemed like and a lot of people were, excited about this aspect or that aspect. And a lot of them brought it up without me even saying anything about it. So it seems to me that the kind of people who come out for the fair, the people who are involved with the community, they're gonna be the ones that are for it.
It was huge attendance, huge. There was
yeah, it was good turnout, and
I saw hardly any of it because I was stuck on the booth.
Well,
I missed
can
the
we
part.
share that with, I mean, Kim was in the booth, April was in the booth, Chad was in the booth.
the busiest table was Long Range Planning Barn and the Lily Project.
You were in the
Yeah, I was in between, I was doing my thumbs.
I kept on calling you over.
Did you get some feedback there, Chad, when you were there?
Yeah,
I saw you there from a
most
distance.
of it was positive. Any kind of, I wouldn't say negativity, was about how much is it gonna cost us? And then, why 2 kitchens?
Yeah.
I got a lot of those questions.
Were you able to answer that?
I thought, I tried my best,
That's all you can do.
yeah.
And you were there, you
Yeah.
got some feedback? and-
Yeah, it was excitement. I mean, I
And most
think
of it was.
a couple people were just curious as if it could be one place, like one almost bigger, 3-story instead of 2, just because of the money, like that money thing came up a couple times.
Is there any kind of regulations about going to a 3rd story?
I measured this one, was out here What's up with Mitch? We measured the height of this building.
35, 40 feet.
No, it's 52.
Yes.
52. It's 52. But, you know,
You got a steep roof up there.
Wow, so that's, you could at least do 3/4.
this one's taller than barn
Six.
6.
Question is there, you know, what would be the structural requirements?
Right.
of putting in,
Yeah.
Right, what's the soils? It's an engineering question, and then permit.
As far as,
And then you'd have to have a higher, bigger elevator
Well,
if you had 3 stories.
cost of an elevator is the cost of an elevator.
as far as Valley Fair booth feedback, from my point of view, is I would say that, first of all, I think the whole fair went really well.
Oh, man.
Like, the fair was super well attended, people were having fun, it was great to see Cruz come down with his horses, right? I mean, you know, that was cool, that was a highlight.
Everybody talked about
The dunk tank was fun. I think,
It was awesome.
I really, like I said at the time, I said, it'd be nice to know that they're dunking the directors of
I
Sutton
think
Valley.
the directors should have been in the booth.
Well, it'd be nice to have name tags or something like that to know who you're dunking, but maybe most of the people did know, I don't know.
They lined up for me, I'll tell
They
you.
I lined up for Mitch, I got him first. I had to get him first while he was still dry. So, but I think the overall fair, like, was probably an exceptional fair, and, you know, in my opinion. As far as the booth goes, I was there quite early, and, everybody was positive that I talked to. And I think that they'll be positive in this kind of revamp of the plan as well, because I think it's just such substantial savings, right? That when, in our responsibility as far as long-range planning is to make sure we get the best value for our buck.
And meet the requirements of the community.
And meet the requirements, but really, like, making sure the money is well spent is very important, right? And that's why we're kind of like pulled back a bit, and said, well, let's look at this, right? So that's my opinion. I thought that people really loved the idea of a community center. The new idea really flows into the idea of the safety committee, right, Rick? As far as like having an open air, a place where people can gather. We talked about what the
This has
certain items
I have to
were there.
interrupt, this has not been discussed yet, right?
It's not,
Right,
no, it's not on the table either.
It's what?
We're not talking about that now.
We're just
You're
discussing.
bringing up stuff that's not on the table.
What was part of Jeff's idea? Okay, right, all right.
Anyway,
I'm getting carried away.
yeah, you are.
All right.
So we're gonna move on. Anybody more about the fair? Okay. Item 8. Parking pass sticker update. Does anybody besides myself or somebody else knows this number? I just got this number. How many stickers do you think have registered to date?
I've got mine.
I've got mine.
This is good press. This is what we got. Everybody should have one because I'm in the
I
car.
didn't apparently understand that you were
This is-
supposed to register.
This is mandatory. So you're gonna live in Sutton Valley, you need to have a
So
sticker.
how do you do this?
You can do it online,
Okay, there you go.
Or you can go to the,
Or you can go to the.
or you can go to, or the
Welcome
center,
center.
you can do
And
it.
they'll hand me a pass,
You have to have a current registration for your car.
okay?
Like went in,
And you
did
drive.
not spot.
Now, how,
There's
what
the
do you,
details on it if you
oh,
want.
I got a paper.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I was there too.
Okay, so, how many? So,
500.
731.
That's a good number.
That's correct.
So that's a third.
well,
Well, you gotta say,
Some houses have-
some people have 2 cars, so.
There's 3,150 lots.
Right, so it's a third, yeah, so it's not a third.
So, what I'm finding out, what I'm thinking is gonna happen is,
25%.
we ordered 3,000 stickers, and everybody said, you can't order 3,000, we only need 1,000, well, we're gonna need more stickers.
And this paper just came out, like this is before this paper came out.
Yeah, so things that we're doing here is happening. So thank you all that put your energy into that.
that was
Chad, Kid,
Chad and,
Yeah.
yeah, that was huge.
Now, when I
You
have
guys are making a difference.
3 cars a week, I'm gonna need 3 parking
You're on the
lots.
front page.
Chad and Ken.
I've been there 3 times.
I
Put it
Oh,
on
yeah.
Ken's forehead.
I don't know why I put you in there for an update.
I
Well, you got involved too. You got involved.
We approve the
Okay,
agenda.
and then, so item 9 here, updated coffee shop. I still know that negotiations are going on, so that's a good thing. I could probably ask to get more, but I'm not gonna do that, put, my friend on the spot. So.
But stuff is happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
stuff is happening, so good things. More stuff that happened here, Elizabeth and April, so it's good stuff. Updated assisted living, item number 10. Elizabeth and I haven't talked to you about this because I just talked to the commercial real estate guy, Josh. I talked to him yesterday.
Oh, you have it in,
And he had sent it to 2 developers. And one developer was interested, and he gave me the contact of him and the owner. His name is Arrow Construction. Pretty business with him. Pretty well established. He's interested, but he wants to have a partnership like where Sutton Valley is really a partner, more than using his money, using our money, and we're really
yeah,
not
we don't want to
there.
touch that.
We're not there yet. So when Rick and I had a meeting with Carletti, he had asked the question, you guys got anything else going on? He's looking for a better business, of course, and I said, well, we're working about this project, and we're trying to find this, we want to build some assisted living place, and we're kind of like checking the waters, and he said, well, if you get in a pinch, I got contacts for developers that do exactly that.
You say you built some with them,
Yeah, and he's built some with them, and they invest, and so I sent the plot yesterday, after I talked to this guy that wants us to put money in. We don't want to use everybody else's money and not Sutton Valley money, that is the mission of assisted living, so.
We don't want to have any connection with them either, because as far as
We'd like a
liability.
lease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just want to lease the land,
That's it.
is what we're trying to do.
We don't want to
Long-term
have any.
land lease with an assisted living place that will service our community that will be in desperate need of this type of service like now. We would be busy if they had 40, so. Anyway, so he is pursuing that with his developers that do this for a living. They build them, they manage them, they run them, that's what they do. And they look really nice. It's their money, they can build it any way they want, so I don't think that's a problem.
Did he seem to think there was enough land?
I just sent him the plot and all that stuff, the 14.8 acres. I sent that to him, I told him that it had to be some dirt work, but,
Well, apparently Arrow thought there was enough dirt.
yeah, they didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
They're gung ho, I was like,
Yeah, so.
I'll do anything on your money.
yeah.
That's
That's
the
right,
problem.
well, yeah, well, I understand, I'm just saying that they apparently thought it was feasible.
Yeah,
14 acres, you think?
yeah, he's gung ho. So that brings us to item 11, which was Mitch and Rick on the letter to Puget Sound
Yeah,
Energy.
yeah.
And
Michael submitted the letter, we're just
Okay,
waiting
so-
to hear back, haven't heard anything back on it.
Okay, that was to put solar panels, we're available, we have some area to put some solar panels.
Again,
in.
a lease.
A lease.
Lease of the land. Feel
At
free.
least you go in, you can put some panels on there. We don't want to invest our Sutton Valley money, this is all outside money coming in for revenue for Sutton Valley. And then, item 13. Okay, so when we have this, we have an email address, it's Long Range Planning Sutton Valley. Okay, we've got very few people that use that, but somehow on this last town meeting, they had my email. I'm not sure how, but I got probably 15, 20 emails on this town meeting. And some of the people I knew, some people I didn't. All of them I answered back. But to tell you the truth, 95% was positive on what we had proposed. They liked the presentation. like it's about time we do something, I got a lot of that.
Oh, that's great.
And then I got some people that were concerned about parking, which we didn't even talk about parking, but they were concerned about parking, we talked about building something first. But, and then some of the questions that were proposed about the water and the temporary stuff, I could answer most all the questions. They said that once you get it going, that a lot of them that would want a community committee that would help choose colors and stuff, to have some involvement, you know, for the adult center to get some colors, they wanna be involved. And it makes sense, once we get to that stage, to have some community involvement in that. The other stuff, it was all good, I mean, I was pleased.
You've made a lot of progress for having a committee start in January.
You guys are the committee. You guys are the
You've
committee.
done very well for having a lot of progress.
Made more progress than the other 3 long-range planning committees I've been on.
Because you're on, well, you know so much more, you know so much more. Just so I can generate revenue. So we're still, item 12 here, we are still open for additional ideas that you come forth with or you hear about to generate revenue that we don't have to put money into. Yes, sir.
Self-storage.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Do you remember the plans?
Self-storage.
Put on the solar panel.
In the revite, we were suggesting that we would be able to put in 200 self-storage units at Area Z.
Yeah,
Where?
I remember when,
We're at,
Area Z.
Area Z?
We had never kicked around the idea of the airport. I mean, if they turn us down for leasing the land at the airport, we might want to talk to some developers and say, how do you feel about putting in self-storage area at the airport?
How about we put self-storage in the airport with solar panels on top?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, exactly, you just said that.
So-
He beat you to it.
How did he beat me to it? I just said it, and then he said he was thinking, and then you said he beat me to it. How did that happen? I don't understand. How did I not get credit for that?
Put down pen and shed.
These guys work good together. They get the, look at this, first page, you got this done.
All right, so I have one more point on revenue.
Okay, we're listening.
Ray, you and I talked about it a little
you
bit,
kinda,
okay, in passing, yeah.
no.
So,
Elizabeth.
So the point on how do we generate revenue with outside funds, we shortly talked about it. And my idea is that every Sutton Valley resident pays taxes to the county, to Bellingham, right? And if you're a normal resident of Whatcom County, you don't pay any, to me, it seems like you don't pay any different taxes than you pay in Sutton Valley. But if you're in a normal residence, you get much more for your taxes than you do in Sutton Valley, because Sutton Valley does a lot of things that the HOA pays for, right? So like I'm talking about road maintenance and all of that, right? So additional revenue, is there a possibility of part of the tax that we pay to the county or to Bellingham of getting some of that back because we do things for ourselves that they do for everybody else? So why don't we claw back some of our tax revenue, and why don't we set that up as an item on the agenda to discuss further? That's, I guess, my point.
Okay,
I
We
think
talked briefly about it.
yeah.
that was talked about in the past, when they really were getting serious about turning Sudden Valley into a town, a city. And as I recall, that was, they figured was impossible. But, you know, I don't know what the barriers would be these days to to having,
We don't have the tax base.
Well, I think we need to discuss it, my point is to discuss it further, that's it, right? My point is to discuss it further, and I don't think anybody ever is willing to give back money freely. But if we look at it and say, hey, here, let's do some more investigating on it, that's my point.
So there's an election for a new county representative.
Right.
I think we should be involved in kind of.
Talking to him about it.
Talking to them, there's two of them that'll be running off in the fall, right?
She was here.
Yep, and he was
I
there.
talked to her for like 15 minutes and she said, so what can I do for you if I'm the right? And I said,
remember seeing
we'd
it.
like to get some of that tax money back.
So you've already introduced yourself?
I did. Well, she came up to the table. That was one of the people I
where's
actually
she
talked
from
to.
anyway?
She is a nurse practitioner that works for, I think it's Lummi Nation. She lives in town.
She was a pleasant person.
So,
Very pleasant.
the dollar amounts are huge, right? So if you think that Sutton Valley has an annual budget of 5 million, 5.5 in dues, and another 2 million in other revenue, golf course, marina, other excesses, 7.2, 7.5 total revenue, and then you say, okay, what if we claw back $1,000 for $3,100 residences? That's another $3 million.
Okay, I don't know how it works in Canada, but this would be.
Oh, you're picking up.
This would be like Civil War here.
You're picking on me because I'm a Canadian? Where did that come from?
The chances of the
I have, by
county,
the way, I have status down here, just so you know.
the chances of that happening are nil. However, for years now, we have not had representation at county council. And I hammered on that. It's like, why do we not have a director dedicated or identified to be our representative at county council, to be talking to them as a representative of Sutton Valley? Hey, we're a voting bloc. That's what I mentioned to her.
Okay, so my point only, Mitch, is just that we just should discuss it
We're
further.
getting on it, it's on the agenda now,
Right,
whether we go to county council meeting people or we get a lawyer.
let's get it on the agenda.
Figure out how to do something.
Right.
And exhaust it or check it out or
Yeah.
table it, whatever.
I agree with Mitch, there's not
Yeah.
a chance in hell, but, it would be, they would be so against us getting any money because it would set a precedent for the whole country.
How do you know that their precedent already hasn't been set somewhere?
Well. it
And we should
happened
get a lawyer
years
to
back.
investigate it,
Yeah.
to see if the precedent hasn't been
Something
set
might have
somewhere.
changed, but,
Let's investigate it.
It's on the,
I say you assign that to Ken and Chad also.
We're on it, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Look at how quickly we got the plumbing process, okay? We're on it, you're gonna get your refund real quick.
how much is it gonna cost us in
Because I'd just like to bring up a point of information. So we had, I believe, an upgraded or updated or replaced water treatment system put in by the county last year.
By the water district.
Water district, okay. So some of our county money goes, or tax money goes
Well,
in.
no, it's water district money,
Okay,
because they tax us separately.
okay.
Water
So
district
they
generally
also
puts
do
on
the
income.
water tanks?
I believe that.
Well,
we could be
$1 million bucks,
we could-
over $1 million bucks for
We
the
could be
water.
splitting hairs. We do get something.
Yeah.
Right? We could probably fight to get more services.
Yeah.
Cash, we probably would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
out of it. But services,
Yeah,
well,
maybe
it's just
like
the same.
the sheriff patrol or.
Yeah, try that. I'll throw another one on the table to you. A number of years ago, the county had approached, the city of Bellingham, and they're buying more property up on those mountains.
Yeah.
The city of Bellingham had indicated that they were somewhat interested in equestrian camp area at our campground. All right, now, we have no, it's zoned for forest. Again, the board allowed the permit to slip, so a city can do whatever a city wants to do with zoning. And they had indicated they were very interested in the equestrian campsite
because horses could then go and access all those trails. So there's a lease that's different than leasing that land to the city for an equestrian campground.
How long ago was this?
Could they,
This was in 2017,
2017?
2017, 2018.
Where
would
did,
it be the city or the county though? It's
The
not in
city
the
is
city.
buying up all the land. City of Bellingham, it was just in the newspaper yesterday, just bought another huge chunk of that mountain up there.
I thought they were
Yeah,
just
but-
logging it, they're just logging it, right?
No, they're doing everything they can to,
But they're trying to buy a watershed, right?
that's right. So this is watershed land.
Yeah.
So, look, it was the head of county planning, I remember, that had said that they had been approached by the park district asking about it. So we have, I think that's a 40-acre area up there. So, I'm sure it would make the Frisbee guys really happy. But leasing that to the city, Frisbee on horses. Oh, you're an adventurous.
where are we talking about these horses going?
The campground.
No, that's where they're resting,
Yeah, the
Where are
horses, they go,
doing their,
They go up where there's trail.
okay, they're not gonna,
They don't come here.
okay.
They go up into the.
Because I don't want them walking horses through Sutton Valley. Hey, I've been in communities like that and it's not
Hey,
pretty.
come on, it's eco-friendly, come on. It's gonna give you some fertilizer, it's gonna do all kinds of.
You're thinking about problems with deer in your garden when you're out to try horses.
okay, folks, I think that's gonna be a wrap for tonight. I think we're gonna get some stuff assigned to us this next meeting. There's gonna be some more stuff coming up. And we're gonna pursue these new avenues.
Yeah, you can.
But, no, there's some stuff here, I mean, this is good stuff. But we're planning on having a meeting here shortly, so it's gonna be September 4th. At 6:30.
Ray, one of the things, and it didn't really fall into section 12, but there is a concern about the erosion at the marina. I don't know but that's something the long-range planning community should be involved in or not.
Oh, I think so. I agree with you. That is an issue. We are losing ground.
So the issue is, when you drive into the marina and you can't park where you used to be able to park. So there was a number of parking spots to the north side of the road when you came into the marina. That is not wide enough for a car anymore, and I think we've lost about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet, based on the pipes. The pipes are still there, but there's no ground behind them. So I don't know if the long-range planning committee should be involved in land being lost to erosion. The wave action, comes into the marina, and obviously that's why they put the corrugated steel into,
They started, but they
the
didn't.
breakwater there, whatever, and they did it also on the point, which has worked extremely well, I think. And then, there's other areas that it just continues. So the wave action of the lake is one thing, and then the boats have been really, we watch the boats on a regular basis, and they're very slow going in and out, and they don't really present an issue, in my opinion. It's the wave action when the wind gets up to 9-10 miles an hour, that just laps away at the shore, right?
Yeah, so it's erosion at the shoreline.
Right, so it's something I think the long-range planning committee should look at as a topic of discussion and see if they could deal with it.
When we rebuilt the spit, that was an item that we had considered, but it was beyond the budgetary constraints that we had.
Right.
Because we knew then that we had that issue. And so it has been identified, it just hasn't been spoken about in a number of years.
Right, so it needs to become topic
So
again.
we got that on our item list.
Thank you.
All right.
Should the should Sutton Valley have a regular repair and replacement calendar that is more than a year or two?
They do.
They do, they do.
Yeah, it's called your capital plan, your reserve plan.
Reserves,
The reserve plan is required by law. Yeah.
So,
we do have one.
Every capital asset that the association has is in the reserve plan.
okay, including these barns?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when were they due?
Oh, well, that depends on where the board is at. We have them scheduled. It has a lot to do with the GM and the board and the reserve analyst, all right? So, we had them in, I can speak for me as the GM and the board at the time, and then the next board came in and they changed it.
So, yeah, currently,
So it's not compulsory.
what's on the books in the reserve plan, actually, barn 8 was supposed to be recited last year. But then the board, I was on the board last year, we said, so are we putting lipstick on a pig?
Yeah, I
Let's-
remember that.
Right,
yeah.
so that's why we did all this invasive stuff, and we got the engineering, and we got all this, yeah, it's like,
So we don't have any hard and fast say that we have to do something.
it's a plan, but it's up to the board to
put it.
And like Mitch just said, you know, you have one board, okay, everything's go, you have another board, everything's. That's the problem with our amenities here. Is
They
this
neglected and neglected.
board thing.
And that's why we're in this situation.
Yeah.
And that's why we're all here today.
So we're trying to get it better.
It
We're trying to
seems like
improve it.
there's gotta be a better way to do it.
well,
And I think our committee's the only
the
one.
board
The
through.
safety committee's doing stuff, yeah, we're in it.
The board through Iowa has more authority,
And accountability.
and, well, that's right. They've always had accountability, but they have more authority now
Yeah.
to actually accomplish what would
The
be
accountability.
prudent, what would be prudent to.
I thought Kiowa in 28 was going to have a consequence for a board not following through and maintaining the assets. I mean, it started in Florida with Surfside, it's moving across the entire country.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get more and more restrictive and incumbent upon boards of directors to be able to say, this is according to an engineer.
Right.
And why are you, in fact, not fixing it?
Right.
That's coming.
That's a law.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be in 28. It's a consequence of Surfside, in Florida.
I'm gonna close this meeting, we can continue on.
So-
I'm gonna close this meeting,
Just,
unless you've got something more to talk about.
do we wanna have a little bit of discussion about this new direction on barn 6? What we wanna have in it?
We need direction to do that, do we have direction to do it?
Well, we were charged with coming up with ideas and concepts, and, I don't know, I'm just raising the question.
I'd like to close this one out.
Okay.
Very good. Our next meeting will be September 4th, and we'll have put some more information. And we're gonna address these items that got brought up on more revenue outside. From outside money.
I want to support Rick on this. I know you want to close the meeting, but I'm going to support Rick. I think that some more discussion needs to be had rather than a surprise new thrust area.
And maybe incorporate some of these thoughts. Or
We need to
consider them.
digest what Jeff mentioned, how we're gonna digest them.
Maybe we need to have another, a little extra meeting just to touch on that.
I would recommend that you do that. Here's your timeline right now is we're in August. In September,
It's really short.
you're shrinking. And so if a proposal is going to go to the board to say, fund this, well, we don't have that anymore because I know that plan has changed. I believe that we need to have a single focus meeting to discuss the thrust change on barn 6.
Yeah, I think it should be done before September 4th.
Yes.
Okay, so there's been some informal discussion about maybe moving the budget adoption up to the 28th of August.
I think that we best have a meeting sooner.
So can we meet in 2 weeks?
That's the 28th.
Why don't we meet in a week?
Why don't you meet next week? You have, the window is shrinking.
Right, I
Once
agree.
that budget meeting starts happening,
Yeah.
they're setting the budget down and they have to put it into print.
I think it requires a meeting in itself because it's a major topic.
We're
I
in
agree with
agreement here.
that,
right.
yeah.
I make.
So that we can make
motion that
a
we have
proposal to the board, this is what our new direction
I
is.
think we need to be prepared to have a presentation for the board, they're gonna be asking for
Right,
some details.
and we need to talk about that sooner rather than later.
That's my sense,
I agree with you.
This is called Robert Rules. I'm gonna make a motion, that we have a meeting next week, single topic only.
A second.
Barn 6 proposal.
Okay, I agree.
It's been seconded.
All right. Well, I still agree whether it's been
Well,
seconded.
Okay, would you please call the question?
Yeah. So, next Wednesday?
so we gotta vote on it first.
No, everybody agree that we need to have another meeting because we got new stuff brought to the table about barn sets.
All right, by acclamation. So,
Acclamation.
what's the day?
I'm open for anything next week.
I'm not back in town till the 19th.
20th or 21st, Wednesday or Thursday?
I'm busy on
Wednesday?
20,
Wednesday is the 20th. Sir,
If I may, I'm going to be out of town till Wednesday, so I won't be able to record till Wednesday.
stop the world right now.
You're irreplaceable?
Does it have to be recorded? Can't we declare ourselves a committee of the whole?
Subcommittee?
I'm sorry. It is the subcommittee.
Yeah, we don't need to record it.
Okay.
So the 20th or 21st?
I'm open either day.
I'm out of town, but you guys can do just fine.
Can you zoom in, maybe?
No, I am gonna be without the internet, out in the boonies.
So you recommend a meeting and then you're not gonna be around? Is that what you just did?
Just get some thoughts
You
together.
guys,
Yeah, just get-
I'm good for either the 20th or the 21st.
I'm good.
So Ray, it's up to you.
6:30?
The 20th?
I'm good.
Wednesday?
Okay.
You're the chair. I interrupted you.
The 20th at 6:30.
Yeah.
Let's do it, 20th at 6:30.
All right.
It's a subcommittee, so there you have it.
let's see.
Oh, I want it to be a committee of the whole.
You're at the meeting.
Okay, so we're gonna, so we can close this meeting then.
Sorry, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second your desire.
We all
to scat.
desire to close. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Next meeting will be on the 20th at 6:30.